This video is all about Nio and Nio stock. I will make Nio's full overview as a company and as an investment opportunity. This is not a video about current price action, but a long-term action. I mean 2 to 5 years at least, so you make sure you like and subscribe early in this video to see what is coming soon. Quick disclaimer, this video is not a sponsored one. All ideas that you will see here are mine only. Fast key facts first. China government-backed company started the Europe expansion. 25 of all vehicles in China newly sold must be electric by 2025. Nio avoided bankruptcy, just like Tesla. Nio could be the next Tesla, and we all know what does that mean. 10x growth. Welcome to Fine Finance, my name is Alex and we're starting to talk about Nio today. First, business model. Quick history. Nio was founded in November 2014 by William Li. In October 2016, Nio announced that it had been given an autonomous vehicle testing permit. In September 2018, the company filed for a $1.8 billion IPO on New York Stock Exchange. In April 2020, having a difficult financial situation, Nio raised nearly $1 billion in new funding from a group of Chinese investors under new entity Nio China. If I was to describe what company does in simple words, electric vehicles. And this definition is the easiest way for most to understand. The same way I could tell that Apple does phones, laptops and other hardware. You already feel like this is not what Apple is. The same way Nio is more than an electric vehicle manufacturer. At least this is the feeling I got when I was doing research about Nio. As you already understood, Nio is not a cheap Chinese car. All the marketing communication is based around certain lifestyle. Life is where you go, how you dress, the joy you feel. In other words, the way you dress is your lifestyle, the car you drive is your lifestyle. Building community around the brand Nio is what company seems to be doing. Why it is important? Just like Apple, customers only love to buy Apple products because Apple products is a lifestyle attribute now. We cannot say this about any other of Apple competitors. I hardly see Microsoft style. But enough about the style. Main products should be excellent. Nio's main products are electric vehicle cars. They have 3 production line cars today. EC6, the mid-size SUV, EC8, the full-size SUV with 7 seats, ES6, mid-size SUV. And here again, Nio positions itself as a sophisticated and high-tech mobile living space. Also, it has EP9 sport car. Among upcoming, you see finally sedan ET7. Production starts 2021. It has its own autopilot, Nio Pilot, which should, as a company claims, be a semi-autonomous technology that allows hands-free driving on urban highways and is an effort to combat Tesla's autopilot driver assist system. But also, Nio has an interactive cute AI dashboard virtual assistant. It understands when it rains and closes the window, put on your music, or just takes your selfie. It is something that Tesla does not have yet. So all the vehicles are SUVs. It is an interesting choice not to have a small electric vehicle, but I guess since it aims luxury segments, it is understandable. Okay, I'm already taking too long talking about the company. You might think that this is a promotional market video. It is not. Just if you really want to invest in a promising company, better to understand what it does. Sometimes it's even more critical for such an innovative company than to look at finances. Usually, such companies are not profitable. That is why you might have sold Tesla at around $40 a few years ago, if you didn't understand what it does. Manufacturing good electric vehicles is only one part of the problem. I suppose you all know by this time that all electric vehicles have much less maintenance than a traditional one. The biggest issues with an electric vehicle is the battery. The battery technology constantly evolves and becomes obsolete pretty fast nowadays. Imagine you buy a Tesla for $70 or $100,000, only to find that the next year a new battery will make your current car obsolete. Tesla batteries are not easily changeable, and in fact, during the last battery day in 2020, Elon Musk showed how it will be an integral part of the vehicle structure, for good or bad. So even if a company makes a lot of progress in a battery R&D, you cannot just say that in a few years your car will be completely obsolete, your battery, because this will kill current sales. People will just think, why should I even buy this battery, this car today, if I cannot change the battery tomorrow? So if customers know about obsolete products, nobody wants to buy them today. That already happened in the past to some computer corporations and led to bankruptcy. Nio solved this problem by introducing Battery as a Service, BaaS. In May 2018, Nio opened its first battery swap station. Nio plans to build over 1,100 power swap stations in China by the end of 2020 and will help in building the overall ecosystem of electric vehicles in China. William Li also says that a battery swap station can be assembled within a day. Back to BaaS, Battery as a Service. It is similar to what all of the software world is using today versus buying entirely 20 years ago. Subscription model has proven to be more efficient for both customers and companies. This means that buying a car, you do not own a battery. You buy a car without any battery in it. What you pay is for miles, cheap electrical miles. This means, theoretically again, that you will not need to change your car in the future because it is old or outdated. You always get the latest software updates, as well as the battery will never in need of replacement. I see this as selling a small part of the battery life to a customer every single day, instead of at once every 5 years for a big amount of money. This is a great approach for cash flow for both Nio and customers. This is a beautiful for Nio customers, especially since Nio proposes charging service at home as an additional service. Nio also builds stations where you just replace your battery in 3 minutes automatically to a fully charged one. With all that beauty for customers and how much it removes entry barriers, I'm still skeptical how profitable that model could be. Since software as a service is one thing, but hardware is another. The fact that Tesla promised to be capable of recycling old batteries at 100% and building new batteries even cheaper out of those ones can explain that owning a battery is not a bad thing at the end and could work really pretty good for Nio. Nio has other services, but I am not going to cover those here. Let's look at the sales statistics, finally. 2018, 8,000 vehicles. 2019, 29,000 vehicles. 2020, well, here is the bit of a problem because, the world was kind of locked out. So anyway, this story in 2020, and so those numbers can be slightly different because of those, because plant was closed and because there was no sales. But anyway, still, if I'm talking about first 10 months in 2020, the sales are 26,000 vehicles in 2020. So total sales around 63,000 vehicles. Recently, Nio showed that it can produce 5,000 vehicles per month in the latest update, which is 60,000 a year if there is no change. Still, Nio has a long way to go to catch Tesla's production capacities, though. Just for comparison, Tesla sold in the last 3 years almost 1 million vehicles, which is almost 20 times more. Nio's ES8 with similar mileage to Tesla Model X cost only half price. With all that said, let's see what is the future growth. Favorite investors, ownership. It is important to know who owns the company. Finances. I'm taking Tesla's market cap as a benchmark to project future growth for Nio. Tesla today has a market cap of $400 billion. My personal opinion that This is not the end for Tesla, and it can be one of the most valuable companies in the future. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. So if Nio reaches current Tesla price, current Tesla valuation, I mean, just take current Nio market cap and you will see how much room there is for growth still. I do not base those comparisons with other vehicle manufacturers since for me, Tesla and Nio are not vehicles manufacturers only, just like Apple is not a laptop manufacturer. Market size for Nio is impressive. China makes a target to get 25% of all new car sales to be electric. Not electric, but new energy vehicles by 2025. Electric are one of those. There will be an incentive for the government to buy an electric car. One of conditions, however, will be for the battery to be removable. And you get it. This way, Tesla cannot have this incentive since, as I just said before, Tesla is going the opposite way with non-removable battery, and battery being a part of the construction of the vehicle, of the structure. This means that Nio will profit from it a lot in China. Look at Chinese market vehicle sales statistics. 17 million vehicles are sold per year as of 2019. If 25% should be new energy vehicles, which includes electric vehicles, this is 4.2 million vehicles. New energy vehicles, or NEV, include battery power electric, plug-in hybrid, and hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Currently in 2020, the last number I got as new energy vehicles annual sales are around 1.6 million vehicles, but most of those are hybrid. Quick look at the US market. Total sales number is 17 million vehicles. Source Mark Lyons Data Center. So for this 2019, we can say that in numbers of vehicles sold in China and in the United States are equal. China keeps growing though, while US market sales decline. See who owns Nio right now. 3. Favorite investors. Ownership. It is important to know who owns the company. Are the big investment funds already there? A quick note. You should know today there are 2 Nio companies. They are related, of course. Nio Inc. ADR. This is the one which is traded on New York Stock Exchange under ticker Nio. There is also Nio China since April 2020. Nio China being the main entity now. Nio Inc. ADR holds 75.9% in Nio China. The rest is owned by a state-controlled investor, which owns around 24.1%. I see it as a great sign, since if you do not have a good relation with the state in China, well, obviously you cannot grow. First of all, among famous investors, my favorite, Bridgewater Associates, world's largest hedge fund, bought in September 2020 $6.6 million of Nio shares. That is not a lot, but shows that the fund which made more money to its investors than any other takes position in this company. That makes me bullish. But let's look at the first 25 shareholders. They own 46% of the company. It is important to see that the biggest owner is Nio's CEO William Li with 10.94%. The Chinese giant Tencent from the big 3 Chinese companies with 10.2%. Well-known BlackRock fund owns 3.14%. Another famous fund, the Vanguard, Goldman Sachs, is in the top 10 as well. Quick look at the second part of the top 25 holders. Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, UBS, JP Morgan Chase. A lot of famous investors here. This can only show the potential that this company has to me. All in all, institutions represent today around 30% already. Finances. Finally, we got here. This is the part that most of you probably waited for. For me, honestly, this is not the most important part, but we still have to see some finances here. When I say not important part, I mean in this growth company in particular, because of the reasons that I said earlier. So, general info, and the price is changing so fast last week, it is impossible to have an update. As of time of this video, Nio price was around $42 already, with the market cap of $57 billion. The volume is big as well as the growth. So I'm looking at current ratio as my main indicator for this company. Current ratio is the one ratio that makes sense to me to take seriously while looking at this stock. It is 1.16, which is okay. Not ideal, but okay. The ideal would be closer to 2, but it means that the company in short term at least has money to pay the bills. But since everything is changing with Nio, this ratio can change as well, so just keep an eye on it. Income statement. In the income statements, we see an increase in revenue around 60% from 4.9 billion to 7.8 billion. This is not in US dollars, but in Chinese yuan. In USD, it would be from 0.7 billion to 1.2 billion dollars. Not a big income yet, but net income is negative, which is normal at this stage. The company needs to invest and fine-tune its production costs. I'm not paying attention to this yet. Here's the balance sheet in yuan again. Total and net debt grew considerably. There's the prognosis that Nio reaches profitability by 2023 or 2024, yet need to scale production to be profitable. All in all, finances are not so strong as of now. But I always remember Tesla. It was months from bankruptcy and now it is a profitable company. I do believe that with all the support that Nio gets from China is a good warranty for me. 5. Let's do some analysis around strengths and weaknesses, as well as risks and opportunities later. So, strengths. Nio is backed by Chinese government. This means that at least in China, it should have no problem growing. Taking into account that in number of sales of cars in China is equal to the United States, the biggest car market historically. That makes me optimistic. Also, the fact that by 2022 there is a goal to reach new vehicle sales to be 25% in new energy vehicle for manufacturers makes me double optimistic. To get incentive for a customer to buy a new electric vehicle, it should have a removable battery again. This clause also excludes Tesla from the incentive proposed by the state. Triple optimistic about Nio in China. Nio is highly innovative. Just take a look at the services, all the services that Nio has around its vehicles. It makes for customers to buy its vehicle a no-brainer, except for the price being around $60,000 in China. But again, it is only half price compared to Tesla Model X in China. So not so bad after all. Nio marketing is a strength to me. Everything oriented around style, not the car as the final goal. Quote, a sophisticated and high-tech mobile living space. Nio removes entry barriers for customers for the battery, high cost using BAS model, battery as a service. Let's look at weaknesses. Needs a lot of investment money, bad financial health. The big if is still in the air. If the company runs out of money, bankruptcy? Or another dilution of shares by selling a big part to the company to Chinese state? Another one. Nio is still a few years behind Tesla. Even if the progress is rapid, Nio needs to make a big effort to make technologies that exceeds Tesla's. Not producing its battery. The biggest challenge might not be having control over the battery supply. Nio does not produce its own battery. In counterpart, it has partnered with the world's biggest battery producers. Panasonic from Japan, LG Chem from South Korea, and CATL from China. There is some diversification at least to lower dependency risk. Risks, opportunities. So let's look at risks. First is production scale. If Nio is not able to catch up with the production capacities fast enough, it can be outpaced by others. That is why Tesla is building its own plants for batteries and other facilities. BASS model. Owning a battery is a risk? This is a big question to me. It depends how Nio structure this battery replacement business. This point can be both risk and opportunity, in my opinion. It is a very unique approach to lease a battery and change it when needed. Let's look at opportunities. So opportunity, again, battery as a service model. Not relying on battery research progress since it's interchangeable. This way for the customer, the battery is never obsolete, which is great. Customer basically does not care about progress in battery R&D, since he ends up paying for a certain amount of miles he can drive with his car using the battery. Europe expansion, or global expansion and all. Finally, we got here. Europe expansion and other countries' expansion planned before 2023-2024. It looks like Nio takes it seriously by opening offices in other countries. There is a great opportunity to take, especially in Europe, when in some countries sales of new vehicles are around 80% composed of electric vehicles. It's up to you. You always have to take in consideration risks and rewards and opportunities if you want. And for this one, you have to make your own opinion. Finally, 6. What am I doing? Just sharing with you some thoughts about it. I bought some shares for $800 at the price of $37 per share just to open the position after a quick search. But after further research, I will double my position in. After that, I will buy more when and or if the price drops more than 10%. This is my personal approach to this stock. I wish I could only learn about this company earlier this year. Yeah, we all say that. But we cannot be everywhere, right? If you're still watching this video, let me know what you are going to do about Nio. What else is missing in this video? Write me in the comments down below. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and do your own research, of course, before taking any action. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion. See you soon, investors. Bye.